President Trump has announced a new policy that will impose a 100% tariff on imported semiconductors and computer chips. This is a dramatic shift in trade policy, moving away from previous administrations' focus on subsidies to a more aggressive use of tariffs to incentivize domestic production. The key feature of this policy is the exemption. Companies that are currently manufacturing and committed to building chip plants in the U.S. will not be subject to the tariff. This has created a sense of urgency for major tech firms, many of whom have already pledged significant investments in American manufacturing. While the long-term goal is to secure a domestic supply chain and create jobs, there are immediate concerns about the potential for higher consumer prices on electronics and other goods. The policy has also sparked confusion among businesses and international trading partners who are awaiting official guidance on how the tariffs will be implemented. The reasons behind President Trump's new 100% tariff on imported semiconductors and computer chips are multifaceted. A primary driver is the desire to restore domestic manufacturing and reduce the U.S. reliance on foreign supply chains, particularly from Asia. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed vulnerabilities in the global chip supply chain, leading to shortages that impacted various industries, from automobiles to consumer electronics. This policy is an aggressive attempt to prevent a similar crisis in the future. Furthermore, the tariff is a strategic tool to pressure major tech companies. By making imported chips prohibitively expensive, the administration is giving firms a powerful financial incentive to invest in and build new fabrication plants on American soil. This contrasts sharply with the previous administration's CHIPS Act, which used subsidies and tax credits as incentives. Trump's approach is based on a more direct use of economic force, betting that the high cost of tariffs will be a more effective stick than federal carrots in compelling companies to reshore production. The imposition of a 100% tariff on semiconductors will have far-reaching consequences for both the U.S. and the global economy. For American consumers, the most immediate effect will likely be a sharp increase in the cost of a wide range of products, including smartphones, laptops, cars, and home appliances, all of which rely heavily on computer chips. This could fuel inflation and dampen consumer spending. For the semiconductor industry, the policy creates a strong incentive to build manufacturing facilities in the United States to avoid the tariffs. This could accelerate the reshoring of a crucial industry, but it will also strain companies' resources as they navigate the immense costs and logistical challenges of building new fabrication plants. Smaller companies, particularly those outside the U.S. that cannot afford to build American facilities, may be severely impacted, potentially leading to market consolidation. Geopolitically, the tariffs could spark retaliatory measures from other countries and intensify global trade tensions, particularly with key chip-producing nations like Taiwan, South Korea, and China. Solutions to the challenges posed by the new 100% semiconductor tariffs will likely require a combination of business strategy, diplomacy, and potentially a shift in U.S. policy. For companies, the most direct solution is to leverage the tariffs exemption by accelerating investments in U.S. manufacturing. Major firms like Apple and TSMC have already made significant commitments, and other companies are expected to follow suit to avoid the steep costs. This will require navigating the complexities of building new, advanced fabrication plants. For trading partners and governments, the solution lies in diplomatic engagement. Nations like South Korea and Taiwan are working to ensure their companies, such as Samsung and SK Hynix, receive exemptions due to their existing or planned U.S. investments. This highlights the importance of consistent communication and negotiation to clarify what constitutes a sufficient commitment to build. From a policy perspective, a long-term solution could involve a more balanced approach that combines the financial pressure of tariffs with the incentives and subsidies offered by previous legislation like the CHIPS Act. This blended strategy could provide a more stable and predictable path for companies to build a resilient domestic supply chain.